What's the next thing? What's the plan for 2026? Like,
I'm having a baby.
do you prefer like a girl, a boy? I mean, just I know obviously healthy baby, but do you have any like?
Pat want a boy, so I want a boy.
Oh.
Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Now, I think that little clip is by Kokoyena, Kokayena, off of Instagram. I'm laughing right now. Yo, let's be real here, man. With Claressa Shields, can she overcome her reputation to ever win an award like this BET Sportswoman of the Year award? You know what I'm saying? Can she? Because she's gone quiet, hasn't she? Could be in training camp, which is what I believe. Could also be maybe being quiet because there's this award coming up. Maybe she's hoping that in a short period of time she can somehow rebrand herself and snatch that award off of someone like, Aja Wilson, Angel Reese. Now, if that's the thinking of her and her team, to that I say, in the most respectful way, to hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Because when it comes to Claressa Shields and whether she wins or whether she loses, look, it's not because of it's not even about accomplishments. Okay, it's perception, which is what I'm gonna keep talking about. No one even wants to talk about the resume. Okay, we know what she's done. She's a part of history, but it's about trying to get voters for an award like this to view her greatness and her public image equally important. You see, this whole thing with award voting is often different from championship competition. I talk about it all the time, whole person concept. In sports, it's not really like that. The best athlete wins. So in boxing, the boxer who fights the best on that night wins. But when it comes to awards, they look at the entire package. Like I say, whole person concept. That's everything is considered. And this is why no matter what Claressa Shields does for this award or subsequent awards, I just don't think she has a leg to stand on. And all the other nominees have an advantage. When you look at like Aja Wilson, Coco Gauff, Naomi Osaka, Gabby Thomas, Sha'Carri Richardson, Angel Reese, Jordan Childs, Flauja Johnson, many athletes who have built large audiences beyond their sport, Claressa hasn't done that. She's turned people off and has been doing that for quite some time now, especially since like last year. You see, this is the problem. A lot of these athletes are often associated with positive media coverage, major sponsorship campaigns, community involvement, which is a big one, broad public appeal, and mainstream popularity. Whether someone agrees with that perception is irrelevant. The perception exists. Award voting is heavily influenced by perception. And Claressa right now, there's two communities where she, I think, is famous in. Remember, famous doesn't mean you like. It just means people know you well. Boxing and hip-hop. And nobody really likes her. But it wasn't always like that. But again, perception, right? And voting's influenced by perception. This is the problem with constant conflict. You got an award coming up. You're nominated. And there's a part of you, I don't care what anyone says, you're still always a little sliver of hope that, maybe I'll get it. But if you deal with the reality, you know that you're taking it to the goddamn stupid if you're someone like Claressa Shields thinking you're going to win an award. One criticism frequently made by these boxing fans out here is that Big Goat often finds herself at the center of disputes. And I'm telling you this right now, nobody feels they're justified. It's not even a separate discussion to be had. Because this drama that she may be trying to clean up right now, that is part of her public identity. So think about yourself as a voter, and you have to go in there and vote for an athlete, and you see these names. What immediately comes to mind when you think about these athletes? Accomplishments, maybe. Leadership, maybe. Inspiration, maybe. Controversy. How about all of those questions should come to mind, and they can impact awards? And that's why I think Claressa Shields doesn't have a leg to stand on. Who has she led? Who has she inspired? What accomplishments does she have? Does she have any controversy? You see what I'm saying? So as far as her going quiet, I don't know if someone can temporarily go quiet and change the narrative. And we can speculate that athletes sometimes become less confrontational around major award season. But I'm telling you, too little, too late. Doesn't matter. Because even if that were true, the reputation usually isn't built over weeks, like I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's built over years. Award voters generally have long memories, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't come out here, man, and be feeding me a shit sandwich 11 months out of the year, then 1 month give me a Jersey Mike sub and think I'm going to look at you as this great human being. Nah, you've been giving me shit all year, and it tastes really bad and it stinks. You know, it's just not enough time to to change the perception. A few weeks of positivity. Let me tell you something. It doesn't erase anything. Rarely will it even take just a shaving off of the public perception. And that's for every athlete in every sport, not just big vote. And this is one of the biggest mistakes athletes make. Many athletes believe winning fixes everything. It doesn't. History suggests otherwise. Fans will always remember how athletes treat supporters, how athletes treat competitors, how athletes handle criticism, how athletes behave during adversity. Public image is accumulated over time. It can't be changed overnight. So is it fair to say there's nothing she can do? I mean, I say no, but the reality is there may be something she can do for the future. But if I say right now, I'm going to say no, and that would probably be an overstatement. I understand that. Sports history is full of athletes who've repaired damaged reputations. Not in a couple of weeks, though. You have some who've transformed themselves completely. Others earn respect through maturity, consistency, and personal growth. So the challenge is that reputation repair takes years. Years, not days, not weeks. Years. And that's why I say this year, next year, maybe subsequent years, it's going to take a while for Claressa to win anything. You understand? People generally need to see a sustained pattern before they change their opinion. I talk about that. I say consistency. A sustained pattern. Same thing. Now, as far as this award and why it matters, it's a big deal, man. For many athletes, awards represent more than trophies. They represent validation. Claressa seems to be someone who needs validation. That's why she was always online. It gives recognition, gives respect, adds to their legacy. That's why debates surrounding these awards become emotional. Fans aren't just arguing about accomplishments. You know what I mean? They're arguing about who represents excellence, both on and off the field of play. The strongest argument against Claressa Shields is an award race. Let me tell you this. The strongest argument is not an award race. You know what I'm saying? It's not her accomplishments. It's the perception. There was an individual argument. It's just an awards race. So as a result, she's not going to win because these awards races are fixed. I'm like, shut up, man. That's why sometimes I can't stand listening to some of these people come out here. You could tell they're dumb and uneducated. This is all fixed. Then she's not going to win. They don't want her to win. It's like, go read a book and not a Dr. Seuss book. McNicholas, and hold your horses and stop taking it to the goddamn stupid. Perception of her public image. That's the problem. The strongest argument in her favor is very simple, right? Very few athletes on earth have achieved what she's achieved. We know that. But voters are going to decide what matters more. And when it comes to this award, they're looking at the whole person concept, the complete package. Resume, reputation, combination of both. And that debate, we could have it all day. That could end up being more competitive than any fight inside the ring. But I am telling you, Claressa Shields is going to lose. Does she belong there? Does she deserve to be nominated? Somebody chose to put her there. But for me, I wouldn't have. I've made decisions like this on people when it comes to awards. And we have people who are kicking ass, man. Top performers. You can depend on them to get the job done. But you couldn't depend on them fuckers to come to work on time. You couldn't depend on them to want to voluntarily stay after work and help out. You know what I'm saying? Could depend on them to come back from lunch on time. Could depend on them to go out there and, score high in the fit test. Always something going on with them. But they could do their job. And that's what saved their ass a lot of times. But when it came for awards and recognition, no matter how much we wanted to give it to them, we couldn't do it. But I would tell them, job-wise, which is 90% of it for me, you got it. No one can compete. But these other people, they're doing their job too and busting their ass too. You got it. You know everything. You got all the answers. You get the work done. There's not a problem. But the little small things you can't get right. Can't be to work on time. You don't want to stay late and help out. You're not a team player. But I know I can depend on you to get certain things done. But you work on them little small areas, man. You tighten that up, you'll be in there. But until then, I'm not gonna just fucking sit here and give you something. You gotta earn it. And that's what I think is going on with Claressa. They nominated her. I mean, all right, whatever, but she gotta earn that shit. You just can't come out there fighting and winning fights and thinking that, I deserve this award. It don't work like that. The complete package. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the break.